Now, welcome to the president session. Over to you, DTM.
Dynamic elected presidents of District 20 Toastmasters Club, welcome and a warm good evening to you. So how do you feel as the presidents of your club? Could I have few answers?
Well,
How
it's
do you
a matter
feel?
of pride for me, Vijay Bhatia.
Okay, some more. May I hear from some more presidents?
Yes.
What are your feelings?
It's kind of scary, but at the same time, a responsibility that pushes me to be better.
Okay, great.
I was
Can I
waiting
have?
from, I was waiting from last 3 years to become president.
Yeah,
Okay.
He was waiting for all of us to step down to become the president.
Which has finally been granted. That was Master Muhammad Bikharuddin.
He'll see you
Be
of a
careful what
company.
we wish for.
International
Okay.
president.
Good evening,
So-
Toastmaster
Good
Hazel.
evening. Good evening.
This is Kunjan Choksi, president of ICAP Toastmaster Club, and I would like to answer your question that it's a moment of immense proud and pride to be a president of Toastmaster Club, and this gives me a very wonderful opportunity to serve the club as well as our larger Toastmaster community in Bahrain and the worldwide. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So we've been hearing from most of our presidents, and I can see that most of y'all are really waiting for the opportunity and very proud. And actually, I feel y'all are quite confident. But for the ones who haven't answered and who are still afraid and fearful, don't worry. You have a person like you. That is myself. 2 years ago, I became the president of my Toastmasters Club. That was the year 2020. When I was asked to be the president of my club, I was the VPPR then. I felt the nudge of my senior Toastmasters and my club leaders to take on this role. And I was really looking forward to it because I've been a leader from my school, college, and university days. But just in the month of June, the second meeting of the term, that was the last meeting of that term before we could take on as president, I was told that the president and the VP education of the club would not be able to make it for the meeting. So I was supposed to be the acting president of the club. And you can imagine my plight. I was really nervous. I was afraid of how I'm going to speak, what I'm going to say. But I showed up. I faltered, I stumbled, and I spoke. And here I stand, actually I sit. The same hesitant speaker, a shy person, your trainer, Toastmaster Hazel D'Souza. So as I start this session, I remember the words of 2014 World Champion of Public Speaking, Dhananjaya Hettiachari. I see something in you, but I don't know what it is. Well, I have a different take on this. Often the best leaders come from someone seeing something in them that they didn't see for themselves. So my dear presidents, your members have seen that spark, that charishma of a leader, which you haven't foreseen as yet. But yes, we take the plunge with courage, not into the river or ocean, but into a journey of knowing ourselves better and discovering a new, I could say, a new Vijay, a new Santosh, a new Claire, and you can add your names in there. And I'm sure this year, 2022, 2023, you will have an awesome discovery of yourself as a leader, as a person, and as a president. So being a president is a privilege. Very few get such opportunities. Some even miss opportunities when they feel they are ready, but no one considers them. But you have been selected and considered. So you should be giving yourself a pat on your back. And trust me, you deserve it. It's a responsibility. You are heading the club. the pilot of the plane, the captain of that ship. So you are responsible for the growth of your XCOM teams and your members. And this responsibility cannot be taken for granted. You are accountable for your actions, your decisions, your choices. So let's do our best to not blame others, to not make excuses, but to be accountable for everything that we say and do. I would like to ask you a question, and I would like to have answers in the chat box. Y'all, each one of you knew your presidents, your past presidents, and for the new members, y'all might have seen a role model of your presidents. What are the qualities that you liked in your president, or what attracted you towards your president? Could you put that in the chat box? The qualities that attracted you to your president, or the qualities that you would like to imbibe in you after seeing them as presidents. Team player, motivating, positive attitude, available, dynamic, inspiring, industrious, wow. Wonderful, collaborative, attention to detail, that is meticulous, commitment, decision maker. Okay. Strategic, yes. Excellent service. Responsibility, decision taking. And I know there are a couple of qualities that will come to your mind. But these are few qualities which I felt will help you as you become a president. The first thing, sincere, true to yourself. So basically being honest, straightforward, very transparent, genuine. You mean what you say and you do. When you are sincere, you draw the right people to you. And mostly your XCOM, your members will trust you blindly when you are sincere. Humility. A person who's not afraid to say sorry and apologize and admit when they are wrong. You don't lose anything by being humble, but in time, you will gain confidence of all your members because of this wonderful quality. Inspiration, example. You should walk the talk. Your life, your stories, your persona should inspire people, be it in your club or outside. People will want to follow you as they consider you their inspiration, their example. Confidant. Your team and members would always feel happy knowing they have a president who they can share their feelings with, be it happy or sad. Thus, let's always be considerate towards the members and our XCOM team members. Action-oriented. Activity is needed to help your members and XCOM know that they have something to look forward. A president can't be inactive or lazy, but be high on energy, always looking for ways to charge their members. Remember, you are the life of your club, and your members look up to their leader the most. Appreciate, motivate. Our members can work wonders when they have been appreciated and motivated. During the pandemic, I noticed we had a good amount in our treasury. Thus, we XCOM decided that we must use it wisely. On Jan 2021, we had an outdoor fellowship by the lakeside and presented the PQD Awards, the DTM Awards, Triple Crown, speech contest winners, and the best performers for the 6 months, July to December. As children, we all know the difference appreciation did for us. So why treat adults differently? All were very happy. You can see the smiles in the pics. It was great to see so many of my xcom come up to me and thank me for the best performer trophies. Excellence. A president at all times should aim for excellence, as every event is an opportunity to showcase the club and its members' potential. So why settle for less? We need to ensure we plan meticulously, have the best role players and contest functionaries on board. For the Tall Tales contest, we had over 45 participants. For our annual speech contest, we had a plethora of international judges and extremely talented and the best role players and contest functionaries. One of the contest chair said he had never witnessed such a superlative online contest. So excellence is one of the qualities that a president should imbibe. Knowledgeable learner. When I say knowledgeable, I don't mean witty or the most intelligent person on the planet. What is required is a person who's always eager and willing to learn and grow. Since he belongs not only to his club, but he is a member of the Toastmasters International and District 20. So he must keep himself informed of all that takes place in district, so as to pass that knowledge to his members, his xcom. Creates opportunities. A president should wait to create opportunities for his xcom and his members to shine and develop themselves. That can only happen if you are involved and care for your members. The area, the division, and the district are always looking out for role players, trainers, and as presidents, we know the potential of our members. So we should be motivating our members to not miss such opportunities, where they can build their confidence and grow. We had an opportunity towards the end of the term to conduct a speechcraft for the non-Toastmasters. And the Vice President membership, Abdulaziz, was asked to be the speechcraft coordinator. And it was great to see his transformation after the speechcraft. Also, one of our very confident speakers, Rahul, was considered to be the trainer for body language, because he's the club's the dynamic and confident speaker with an amazing body language and gestures. Because we knew his expertise, we knew he would be of great help to the non-Toastmasters. The role of a president. Your role as a president should be to direct your members and your club towards success. And that can happen if we work towards these key roles. Club vision and goals. When you begin your term, you should have the vision for your club. As I'm sure you kind of know the previous president, you have an idea how the club has been performing. You are aware of the membership growth, the strengths and weaknesses of your club. So it's important that you set a vision for your club and agree with your xcom team. Or you set few goals and try to achieve them by the end of the year. All of you had a wonderful presentation previously on the club's success plan. It is a great tool to work on your vision and goals for the year. Once you complete that plan, it's nice if you could share it with your members, and you may keep a copy of it in the club records. Clarity on xcom roles. As a president, you have to be familiar of the roles of your xcom teams. You can find this in the club leadership handbook. And the soft copy of that is available on the Toastmasters website, and I'll be sharing it with you. So try to understand the roles of every team member of yours and see that they have a clarity on their roles. If they understand their roles well and are clear on what needs to be done, then they can really benefit the club with their contribution. XCOM team meetings. An XCOM meeting is the only way to have a personal rapport with your team. Regular meetings help you plan and prepare well for the club meetings. So you can discuss and tackle any kinds of issues that you face when you meet for your XCOM meetings. Thus, please do your best to meet at least once a month. You could ask your club secretary to chalk out an agenda, or you can do it yourself. And you can ask all your XCOM team members to be present and committed for these meetings. Now, what happens if few of the XCOM members do not turn up for the meeting or are not able to make it for the meetings? Do we stop the meetings? No. We attend those meetings with whoever are present, but we never miss the XCOM meetings. Another lighter side to the role of a president for XCOM is that you can always go for coffee dates with your XCOM team members. When you meet your XCOM team members individually, in person, it's a great experience. You learn so much about them and the troubles that they go through as family people, on the professional background, and also you can you can be of great help to help them achieve what they feel difficult just by speaking to them and making things easier for them. Creative and quality club meetings. Though the Vice President Education will take care of this role, the President must oversee that the meetings are very creative and unique, as this is the only time that your club members will come together. So these meetings have to be fun-filled, and it's so important that we plan well for this meeting. Make sure it's memorable for members, because here they will de-stress themselves, they will feel motivated, they will learn, they will feel refreshed and rejuvenated. The more the quality of your meeting, the more the members will look forward to the meeting and will never miss the meetings. Confident role players. The members, the speakers need to feel confident for their roles and speeches at the club meeting. Especially if they are new members, because as the president, it's important that we communicate this to our VPHs so that they share the scripts of the roles and see that the mentors help these new members with their speeches. It's important that these new members feel comfortable, and thus as presidents, we need to go an extra mile to make sure that we be of great help to members during their initial days. Club mentors and purpose. Every member joins a club, for example, to improve their language, to become confident, to overcome their stage fear. And as presidents, we need to ensure they achieve their goals at the earliest, or at least they can see their progress. They also need to be immediately assigned mentors. And you have to work with the Vice President Education and their mentors to see that they are achieving the very purpose that they joined Toastmasters. The go-to person or the go-to guy. As presidents, we need to be open, encouraging, accommodative to the XCOM and the members' request. Our members should feel confident to come to us with any of their concerns or questions. So let's do our best to be approachable. Ask questions and support. You have your closest support, that is your area director, your division director, and the district office. They all are just a message or a phone call away. We don't need to know it all. So don't be hesitant to be or shy to ask any questions or any help or support for that matter. You will feel relieved knowing that you are in an organization with the most supportive leaders. Achieve the distinguished club status. You will know a healthy club by its distinguished club status, right? But I would say a healthy club is a club that encourages members to take roles and give their speeches. When your members are highly motivated and happy in the club, they will take the initiative themselves to not miss the meetings and give their speeches regularly. And you as a president will not have to worry about the DCP progress. It will happen automatically. Let's communicate the DCP plan from the beginning to the members so that they too feel involved and know how their achievements in turn build a healthy club. As presidents, to grow, we need to learn. And the same goes with our members and XCom. And this can be achieved if we avail the resources or the workshops provided to us physically. I've attended a couple of sessions when I was a new member at the SIM School and ACK in Kuwait, which was organized by my Division E. Thus, as president, let's be alert to what's happening around and encourage members to take the most of these sessions. During the pandemic, the district conducted various educational sessions, and we were lucky that they were saved in the YouTube channel of District 20 Toastmasters, so you could access them. After discussion with your VP Ed, you can think of holding 15 minutes educational sessions. So you could refer to the Better Speakers series set and the Successful Club series set, which is available on the TI website. And these manuals are really very powerful and impactful, and they will surely make a difference to every member as you conduct them for your clubs. During my term, we had sessions conducted for our members, especially the new members who had never participated in the contest. So we had 4 workshops conducted by senior Toastmasters in our club, very experienced Toastmasters. And these were really informative and helpful for all the Toastmasters. Also, we conducted a table topic workshop by a very experienced speaker from Chennai, DTM Sriram. And this was a very informative session for the members. So with all this wonderful information on the qualities and the role of the presidents, now is activity time. So are you ready, presidents?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I would like to have volunteers. You could raise your hand. It'll be nice to have presidents who have served in the XCom. So we could have more experienced Toastmasters sharing their knowledge with the new presidents. So I can see DTM Malka. Okay, so moderator, can you highlight, could you spotlight these Toastmasters? One is Jahangir Khan, DTM Malka. We have President. Yes.
This presenter, we cannot make highlight because we are at breakout room. So
You cannot spotlight these participants.
Yes, we can see only in the gallery view, or
Okay.
I can make them to be available on the screen.
Or do you want me to stop my share screen? Then will you be able to do it then?
Yes, it will show only all active participation in the gallery view. Yes, you can stop sharing.
Okay.
We can see all presidents.
Okay. So I will. Okay. So I cannot see them in the front. So no problem. They can answer when I ask them the questions. Okay.
So
whoever have yes.
Right now, all are there in the gallery view, so they can answer. If possible, all presidents switch on your cameras so we can have better view. Later, somebody's view your picture.
Okay. So anyway, we can have a variety of answers. So whoever is able to answer these questions, you all can do it. So I wanted to be engaging and interactive. So please feel free. So we have two scenarios, okay? And we would like to know what is your experience for this situation. You are ready for your club meeting. You've invited few guests. 3 speakers are scheduled to give the speeches. And at the last moment, say half an hour before the meeting, 2 of your speakers excuse themselves, saying they can't give their speeches as something urgent has come up. How would you handle the situation? And how will you avoid this in the future? Okay. So do you want me to repeat it again, or you kind of got the question?
Can I?
Good to go.
Yeah, okay. So could you please, could you give in your answers? Like, how would you handle the situation as a president of the
Yeah.
club?
Can I, Madam Presenter?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So this is something which is happening very often these days in the club meetings. So one thing which we have been practicing in my home club, Bahrain Elite Speakers Toastmasters Club, for the last 8 years, we have a hot seat speaker ready all the time. So if someone backs out at the last minute, we have a speaker who steps in that position. Another thing what we do is we extend the time of a session which we are having in our meetings, which is fun and learn. So we have the fun and learn session and we extend the time for that. And we make it more impromptu sessions. We put more time to that. So that is something which we do, and it has been really effective. People do enjoy, and we have the speaker who steps in, even if we have 2 backouts. Thank you.
That's really, thank you. That's a real good suggestion. And I think we too can incorporate that in our meetings to have a speaker ready in case anyone backs out. Anybody else?
Toastmaster Hazel, yes.
Yes.
We had a similar scenario in the last meeting of Lion of Judah Toastmasters, where we had 2 people backing out and only 1 speaker. We actually have something called, just like you said, a hot seater. We call it as a backup speaker. Even the backup speaker could not make it last time, so the hot speaker was also out. So which means that we were left with single speaker. Just like what he said is that we actually enhanced the table topic session a bit. So then table topic session became a very fabulous session altogether. And it took about almost half an hour, and we found all of them were enriched at the end of the meeting. So the ideal part in this to take care of this is that we need to have more than 1 backup speaker who can ready to take up the speech in case there is a backout. That's my suggestion from it. And of course, get the table topic commentator or table topic master ready to have extra topics in case something like this happen. That's my suggestion from my side, from my experience. Back to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Santosh. Any other way of looking at it? Any other answers?
Yes,
Yes,
may I?
Madam Hazel.
Yes. Yes,
Toastmaster
DTM.
Hazel. Yeah. So what happened once in our club was that we didn't have a speaker. So what we did was, first, a backup speaker should always be there. And second thing is, I just invited one of the senior Toastmasters to conduct a quiz on Toastmasters. So just a bit of when did the Toastmasters start and who was the first president, when were the women admitted, and all those things. So that kind of thing can be done. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
May I?
Yes.
Yes, hi. My name is, I am Toastmaster Muhammad Amin, and I present AOU Toastmasters. One of the things that we always suggest is to always have backup training programs for our students, and whenever we have the chance to present them, we would do. So one of the times that where that was applicable is when the speakers were not ready to present, or they backed up on the roles at the last moment. By that, we had a chance to give 5 to 10 minutes training on how to use the website, how to enhance your profile, how to work on enhancing your speech. We have different training programs that are ready to be presented, whenever there's a situation, whenever there's a possibility to do so. So we consider this as not as a disadvantage, but an advantage to present better training programs for our members.
Yes, thank you so much. Thanks for that
May I?
feedback. Yes.
Yeah, we have had a situation like this earlier, not in the last year. But what we did was we did not have anybody stand by or backup. In that case, we decided on to have a debate, you see, and we appointed the two sides, and 3 or 4 people were selected on each side, and debate continued for nearly half an hour. And that was a very interesting debate, and they liked it. And this is how the time was passed. And there was only one speech delivered. So this is also an idea which people can use if something like this happens.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Okay, so we had a couple of answers, and let's go to the next question.
Toastmasters Hazel, sorry to interrupt. Take the one response from the Toastmasters Priyanka Purohit. She was waiting a long time.
Okay, Toastmaster Priyanka, could you give your feedback for the first question?
Good evening, everyone. Normally, this situation is happening mostly in online meetings that at the last moment, the presenter is backing. So the speaker is not giving speech due to some personal reasons or whatever. And ours is the women only, so we have to give priority to their, being women, we have to be more helpful towards them. We have to be more supportive. So in such situations, I normally, like I was the VP Education last year, we have introduced a new learning session. It's not a training program, basically. It is just, you share some knowledge, you have some predefined PPTs. Even there are some videos by Toastmasters or by Tech for Toastmasters or that. And we play and we try to educate new members through that. So normally we cover up that time by doing that. So it is with less preparation and hassle-free, I feel. So that's it.
Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, so that was really wonderful, and it was nice to hear all of your feedback. So I have another question for our presidents. Another situation. So one of your XCOM members, say the VPPR of your club, is unable to perform his role due to professional commitments or personal commitments. How will you manage the situation? Any answers?
Can I come in?
Yes, sure.
So what we can do is we can ask every role player to have a committee formed so that they don't have to be there always. They can delegate the work to others and monitor. Need not be attend all the sessions, but he can make sure that the work is done with the support of his team of people. So we can't remove them, and it is up to him. He may have his issues, but we can suggest not only him and every role player to have a team so that they can do this work as a teamwork.
Yeah, thank you. That's a great suggestion to have a team. Yes.
I'm President Nasrin Sheikh of Empowered Women Toastmasters Club. And it's a very common scenario, actually. Any of the XCOM member, if they get busy with exams or anything else and they back out, especially for our PR, we have a council ready. We have sub-members, subcommittee ready. So what we do is that we don't burden the main PR person, but we have somebody supporting and we brainstorm together, and nobody is overwhelmed and nobody is kind of indispensable. So if at any given point of time, including a president and VP, and every role will have a backup, 1 or 2, and we cover each other. So that way we are getting trained for, we are actually getting empowered and we are learning too much, and nobody's getting overwhelmed. And at the same time, we have a backup plan as well. So it works amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Could I ask all the speakers to, all the presidents to kindly mute yourselves, except for the person who's speaking. Yeah, thank you. Any more takes on this? How we could handle the situation? Anyone would like to comment?
Toastmaster Hazel, my suggestion is that the other two presidents have given a very good feedback. Subcommittee is the best option. But if you see this repeating for a long time and the subcommittee is not strong enough, the best option is to speak to that person who's very regularly going to be occupied with this professional commitment and probably give the leadership opportunity to somebody else at a later point of time. That's if it's going to continue and the subcommittee is not strong enough to carry along. That's what we have done at times.
Yeah, that also is a good suggestion because could be everyone may not be able to handle that role. So if we come to know it early in stage, like maybe 2 months or 3 months down the line, we could always hold an election and choose another club officer in his place, in his or her place. Okay, so with that, let's go ahead with our presentation. I think the moderator has sent the attendance form, so you could fill in your attendance. I'll just share my screen now. Okay. So with that, we come to now the responsibilities of a president. So before the meeting, during the meeting, and after the meeting is the main core roles of the president. And for that, we need to achieve it in the best way possible. So what are your responsibilities as a president? Before the club meeting, you need to plan and prepare for the meeting. You need to review the agenda. You need to check with the VP Education if there are any new member inductions, any educational achievements. You need to check with the VP membership if there are enough of membership application forms, if the guest kits are ready. And you need to check with the Sergeant at Arms if all the club accessories are enough for the day, the feedback slips, the best speaker ribbons, and the certificates. Sorry. Are you all able to see the screen?
Yes.
Yes, we can see.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And then during the meeting, the most important thing of the meeting is to start your meeting and end on time. Do your best to start your meeting on time. And for this, it can be achieved if we club officers would come in early, at least 45 minutes, or at least be there half an hour for sure at the venue. So during the meeting, the things that we would do is we would welcome the guest and the members. The president's role is the most important because you are the face of your club. You need to be there. Need to be there to welcome your members who are looking forward to come for the meeting. And you need to be there for them. So welcome the new guest, the members. And as the presiding officer, when you start the meeting, you call the meeting to order. You get ready to inspire the members, the guest with your speech. And then you introduce the Toastmaster of the day or the MC. Towards the end, you conduct the business session wherein you thank your TMOD, you appreciate the members for their educational achievements, and then you ask the feedback from the guests who have come for the meeting. You announce the winners and any other announcements, and you adjourn the meeting. Outside the club, you are the face of the club, so you liaise with the area, the division, the district, and the community. You attend and vote at the area and district council meetings. I'm sure some of you might have had the experience when it was conducted in this month of May, wherein you attended the meetings and you voted. You will also attend and vote at the annual business meeting, As members, each one of us has received a mail in our inbox telling us about the annual business meeting, which will take place at the International Convention, to vote for the international director. And in this month, July, you should be getting a mail. The presidents and the vice president education will get a mail to vote for the international director. As presidents, you also appoint the club's audit committee. Your treasurer will need help, and therefore it's important that you assign a senior Toastmaster from your club to oversee the audit of the club budget, so that they would not feel nervous to handle, especially if they are new members. And it will also help them to be on track with the audit and with the budget of the club. As presidents, you are privileged to organize the annual speech contest, which is held once a year in the month of December and January. So either you organize it, or you facilitate your XCOM to be the event chair, while you, of course, oversee the annual contest. You also form the club officers nomination committee. Towards the end, as presidents, we have to make way for the new officers to come on board. And for that, we need a nomination committee who will help the officers to take on the roles, to choose the best officers. And also we, as presidents, will always try our best to give opportunities to new leaders, that is, new ideas. For more information of all the resources that I've shared, you can always take this information from the Club Leadership Handbook. I have a copy of the hard copy here. I don't know if you can see it, yeah. So basically, this is also there on the Toastmasters website. And I have given the link for this. I've also gone through the Distinguished Club Program and Club Success Plan. So you could, I will share the PDF with you. So if you want, I will share the PDF of this presentation with you. So you can always go through all the agenda that I spoke on today. And before I close the session, that is before the question answer session, I would like to end with this quote. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. Stephanie Simpson. So as presidents, it's important that we empower our members, our XCOM teams. Because when we do that, you will see yourself growing in leaps and bounds. Thank you. I now leave the floor open for any questions that you may have. So please feel free to ask me any questions.
Thank you, Madam Presenter, DTM Hazel.
Yeah.
This is Toastmaster Jahangir, and I'm the Club President for Bahrain Distinguished Toastmasters Club. The question which I have for you is, I just want to understand something which I have observed over the years is, at times it becomes very difficult for the new XCOM, like which we will be having, the term after us. We are unable to have the successors ready. Though we have the subcommittee members, but at times it becomes very difficult to find, let's say, the BP education, who should it be? And the nomination committee chair has to go through a lot of hassle to convince the members to take the leadership roles. Now, what way, as a president, what are the things which we need to do in order to have the successors ready in advance, or preparing them with us? What would you advise on that? Thank you.
Thank you, Jahangir, for that very apt question. And I think as presidents, our role doesn't, like to nominate our club officers doesn't start towards the end, but it's a process. So for example, when I was the president, my eyes were on my XCOM team, my members, who I felt were really great leaders. Though they didn't consider themselves leaders, somehow I could understand who would make the best president or who would make the best vice president education. And you will find these people closely in your team itself. Like if, for example, if your VPM is the right person for the VP education, you will easily find most of your officers from the XCOM. And if you would not like to burden them, suppose they don't want to take for example, for their personal commitments or family commitments, they step back. Then in those cases, we always will find very members who may not appear, confident as leaders, but actually they are the ones who are the most interested. So the best way to find your leaders for the next term is to look for interested people who are willing to learn and grow. So they would make the best officers for your term. You don't need experience and to get officers on board, but you just need interested people who are willing to improve themselves and grow themselves. So if these people are ready to improve themselves, that means they are the best people to be the leaders. So that is one way you could think of. And I feel as presidents, we have that members look up to us. So when we feel they are ready for that role, we can contact them personally. And I'm sure if you contact them personally, they will surely agree to that role. Yeah, so I hope it answers what you asked. Yeah.
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Wonderful presentation. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Any other questions?
Yes,
Just
I have a question. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, proceed.
Too many people.
No, yeah.
Go ahead,
Yes,
Mr. Oni.
Yeah, thank you. I have a question. This question is not that significant. See, most of the people, they don't want to take up a presidential role because in every meeting, they have to present a speech, that is a presidential speech. And many people, they don't want to give a presidential speech, or they are not willing to give presidential speech, so they are not coming forward. It has happened in my club because during the last time I was the president. This time I have been asking people, members, to come forward to take up the president's role. Nobody was willing to come. So my question is, this presidential speech, is it necessary or not?
Yeah, first of all, I wouldn't say that we have to give a presidential speech actually. So when I became the president, I just was myself, I was just sharing my stories. So basically you don't have to put it that way to them. You have to just tell them that you have to share your life, your stories. It's not a presidential speech. So basically your story only will become the presidential speech. Our story, if you look at the presidents of our countries and people who we look up to, like for example, you could say Abdul Kalam, he just spoke his heart, So basically presidents are supposed to speak their heart. They're not supposed to give some big speech. First of all, it's a very few minutes, that you have, maybe 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So
Yeah, 3 minutes.
Yeah, so just let them speak their heart and their stories. They don't need to give some big speech. Maybe as the time goes, when they start speaking their stories, they will suddenly you'll be surprised to see them giving like a presidential speech by the end of the term. So you can encourage them that way, step by step. Yeah.
Can I?
Okay.
Hazel?
Yes. Could I listen to Mr. Bhatia first? Dinesh? Yeah.
Okay. Madam Hazel, see, in my club, that is Indian Club Toastmasters, Bahrain, we follow a system like appointing a committee to select the next president and the executive committee as well. That is, in fact, become a routine, like ex-president is the head, and he takes 2 members, and all 3 of them together they investigate as to who is the possible one to be selected for all the 7 positions. See, and then they approach them, and then we issue 2 weeks notice to the members to have the meeting. And on the meeting day, the proposal by the selection committee is made that these are the nominations received by them and they have accepted to. So they will propose them, and anyone from the floor also could stand against them or nominate himself, you see, and the election takes place. Secondly, coming to Toastmasters Uni's question of giving the presidential speech, I think that is an important speech. And I was yesterday given 5 minutes to talk on acceptance speech, and I have delivered the speech 5 minutes, and all were very happy, where I said, yes, I have accepted this. It is not just becoming the president, it's not just the legacy or a change of God. It is taking the responsibility onto your shoulders to ensure that everything goes well throughout the year, and do the planning and take the club and its its members forward, and cooperate with them and train them, and have a systematic way, the way it has been designed in the Toastmasters TMI. And that is all. And then I had to add something about myself as to what I am and what I have achieved and what I have done, how many years I have been here, and what is good thing or other, or little bit of Bahrain as well. Back to you, madam.
Thank you. That's a valid answer. Actually, as presidents, we have to prepare a speech. I don't say that no. But if there are people who are hesitant because of this, then we don't have to put it across to them in that way. We can always tell them that they basically have to share their life, their stories. So basically, our job as presidents should be to inspire our members. So you prepare for it before, and let it be something which will transform your members. For the ones who are hesitant to take for this, you could always tell them that they could just share their stories, and slowly they will understand the importance of that speech. Yeah, and Dinesh, you had a question?
No, Toastmaster Hazel, I don't have the question, just to requesting to, because I see the attendees, the numbers are reducing. Click the group photo and you continue then.
Okay,
Mr. Wakaruddin has got the question.
Thank you, DTM, for your question. Now, my question is that I am also Bahrain IT Professional Toastmasters Club President. Now, I would like to know from you how we can make the motivational speeches from our own, and from which source we can make them motivate. And since somebody is mentioning how we can inspire, sometimes some people feeling bored the speeches, so how we can make them more enjoyed. But overall performance, as you mentioned, we need to memorize or remember the meeting itself. So I need to make that kind of plan. So I need your experience, how we can inspire and motivate the members.
Okay, the best way would be to think about what your members require. For example, you know your club better, you know your members better. So every you and your meetings are just twice a month. So speaking to them something like, which experience, like is your personal experience, will actually help your members be motivated. So there's no particular, way of preparing a speech, because it's just 2 minutes or 3 minutes. So, and we have to remember that as presidents, our job is to, call the meeting to order and give our speech, and basically not take that stage and only, like, for example, we have to remember there's a Toastmaster of the day and there are other role players. So our job is not to be the the whole and the soul of the meeting, but we just have to be to give our inspire our members. Our members have come there to de-stress themselves and to have fun. They have not come to basically listen to our speeches as such. But yes, we can. So just be, like I said, just inspire them with what comes to your mind, what you feel like sharing to them. So it could be. I would just, for that matter, refer to a book, a small little book which I had, which gave me, a thought for the day, and then I would build on a story through that. You could look up anything, but basically it has to be something which is short, or your life experience. I liked our current president's way of presenting his speeches. He used to take a story and relate it to the club. Like, for example, if we were like struggling with, say, for example, membership or something, he would relate his story with that, and he would say like how we could learn from it. You could use anything. It's your, basically you have to, it's your way of presenting. There's no way in such. If maybe we could take some suggestions from other senior Toastmasters of how you could prepare a speech. Maybe we could ask DTM Alka, would you have suggestions of how do you prepare your presidential speech?
I have example of our immediate past president, Toastmaster Santosh Abraham. During our pandemic, he inspired the online audience. Normally, our club member is less more than the guest. So we have around 30, 25 like that. So maybe, as you said, maybe DTM Alka can share her experience so we can get more about that.
Is she there? I'm not sure.
In the meantime,
thank you.
In the meantime, can you share the handbook which you said you will be sending the handbook?
Yes, I will just share it now.
Yeah, please go ahead, Madam Alka.
Thank you, Toastmaster Hazel. Yes,
Vijay Bhatia.
there are a couple of ways to do it. Like Toastmaster Hazel said, either go for a book or go for an inspiring quote. Just choose one quote and go for your stories out of that, what you have learned, why that quote inspires you, and what the members can get out of hearing that quote from you. So it can be anything. It can be a quote, it can be a personal story, it can be a book, it can be even a word that you choose. So it can be around the word of the day, or it can be around the around some event that you attended recently. So you just need to prepare. I would just say you need to prepare. You don't need to go unprepared to the meeting, because as president, you set the tone of the meeting. So if you are unprepared, you give a wrong message to the members. That's all I would like to say. Back to you, Toastmaster Hazel.
Toastmaster Hazel, I would just like to add to what Toastmaster Alka said. Very widely, very, very well spoken, Toastmaster Alka. Basically, once you start preparing for these presidential addresses, it becomes automatic. I do the challenge of trying to prepare my presentation speech based on the theme of the meeting. If the theme is, last time the theme was about dreams. So my speech was all about how your dreams could be your possibilities. So empowering based on that. So a theme is one good idea, is to based on the theme, or it could be on one of your life or circumstances which can motivate, inspire. The idea is that by the time you complete your 3 or 5 minute speech, the people should have been inspired. You set the tone and you go into that energy into the next session and hand out the baton across to the Toastmaster day. And that should start with energy, that should start with that passion. So once you start preparing, then it becomes automatic. Easily, I wouldn't need more than a half an hour to get a presidential speech in place, because now I've been equipped on that. Every one of you, it's not that I'm being talented. I said everyone, once you start preparing, we have the experience, it becomes easier. That's all. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Yeah, he's our.
Can I please
Abraham.
add something, please, on
Yes.
that,
Yes.
please, Faraz? In addition, great points to Toastmaster Alka, Toastmaster Abraham. I find that the presidential address is actually an opportunity for every single president to prepare 24 possible speeches that they can use in their Toastmasters journey. personally, out of my presidential addresses, I'm not exaggerating, but maybe about 4 of them have ended up as contest speeches. So friends, dear presidents, use this as an opportunity to build your repertoire of speeches, which you can further develop as your international speeches or your humorous speeches as it goes along. You will never get this opportunity ever by just being a normal member. But as a president, you prepare 24 speeches in 1 year. Good luck, my dear friends. All the best to you.
And that was a good one, actually. True. We can really prepare, and those speeches can be contest winning speeches like for us. So with that, thank you so much, presidents. It was a wonderful session, and it was really nice to hear your inputs and feedback. So with that, I hope you'll all have completed your attendance form. And I have I've shared the PDF in the chat of what I shared. So you all can always have a look at it.
And as well as the feedback form is there. If anybody would like to feel free to add the feedback or make session next time much more better. As I have seen too many club officer training, to be honest, this is, I have ever seen the best presenter.
Thank you everyone for your wonderful comments, and thank you, Vikaru.
Ma'am, just I forgot to mark my attendance. I thought you'll give me a separate sheet or something. How can I do that?
Yeah, Vikaru, could you just share it again?
Yeah, I will share now again.
Who's taking photograph, please take the photographs and make everybody laugh as well.
Members, please switch on your cameras.
My camera.
Switch on your cameras and show some emojis also if you like, no problem.
Who's taking? Mr. Dinesh?
I will announce. Let us first switch on all the cameras.
All are there in the... Okay. Laugh.
Ma'am, I didn't get any sheet for the attendance.
Yes, I'm
There is the link in the chat. Click that link, then you will take to the website will be open.
Okay, he's going to share it again. He will share it again.
Yeah, I shared now. Can you check it now?
So now I can start the counting. Toastmasters Raja, your hand is getting 10, I think. When I say the 10, that time you can give your reaction, cheese or
10.
whatever you like. Toastmasters Farhan is ready.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Please hold on the chat. 7, 8, 9, and 10. One more bonus shot, please. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dinesh. And thank you, Vikaru.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Hazel. Thanks a lot for your presentation. It
Madam
means a lot to us.
You make the conclusion, I will stop the recording.
Yes, so no conclusion now. We already concluded. So I'd like to thank each one of you for taking your valuable time and being present here. I was really happy to see each one of you and hope to have dynamic clubs this coming year. It's the president who does it actually. Though the club officers are important for us, but the president is the one who sets the tone. If you are enthusiastic, motivated, and you push yourself basically, because some of us, are not self-motivated. I'm not self-motivated. I have to tell you that. But then I push myself because when I see my members happy, when I see my XCOM, transforming, it gives me great happiness. So even if you feel difficult, please push yourselves, because at the end of this term, you'll be very proud of yourselves. You'll be very proud that you have actually discovered a new you. So with that, thank you so much and all the best to you, presidents.
Thank you.
Thank you.